My name is Rojas, and I'm a senior, so I'm graduating class of 2013. And I study neurobiology and economics. Communication is of the utmost importance because in every single field it's necessary to transfer information from one person who studies one thing to another person who studies something else. And all fields depend on people communicating in ways to push the field forward together. For example, what I'm learning right now in my class is something called the neuromuscular junction, where you're literally studying the intersection between neurons and muscles. And some people know a lot about muscles, and some people know a lot about neurons, but very few people know everything about both of them. Very few people are experts about both of them. So to really understand, how a neuron gets a muscle to contract, you need to be able to have scientists from both sides of that system be able to communicate effectively towards each other so that you can use all the information available to us to push that particular problem forward. And that type of pattern repeats itself a lot in many different types of problems that we face in my field. You have to be able to put together reports or even scientific manuscripts or write grants that other people in the lab are going to read, and that's one of the ways that they're going to understand what you're working on. And so to be able to get that information to other people well, you have to be able to write. You have to be able to make your manuscripts coherent. You have to be able to understand what the people who are reading those manuscripts are going to understand and what they're not, and what you should explain and what you shouldn't. And so constantly you're refining your writing skills. There's some sort of statistic that says in medicine that we double our knowledge in medicine every 5 years. So we're getting so much new information about so many things that we didn't have in the past. And we're somehow trying to have to be able to translate that information to something the public can understand. And I think this is a really important societal question and a societal problem because in order for an entire society to move forward as opposed to just a subset of scientists, everybody has to have some sort of basic understanding of the really important things that we're learning. If you're trying to write popular science accessible to the public, you have to explain so many things so much more than you're used to having to explain them. For example, if I'm talking to a biologist, I use terms like neuronal subtype specification and transcription factors and downstream regulators and transmembrane receptors. Those are things that everybody in my field understands. But then when I'm trying to explain that field to a broader group of people, Shay, who was my power teacher, really instilled the concept of using power as an opportunity to practice those skills, practice explaining things in a deeper level to people. As an existential question, it has helped me grow as a person too. I like to write a lot, just personally, even if nobody reads it, just to if I think about something really interesting throughout the day, an ethical question in medicine, what's a doctor's role in society, these type of things that I kind of want to get a good handle on. I use writing as a medium to help myself understand them. As soon as I put it on the page and watch those arguments develop, I kind of quantify it and kind of refer to it again and again and again once it's saved. And so I think writing is both important for communicating with other people, but for also personal growth. And that's kind of how I've approached it.